Hey y'all, we're going to run you through a quick tutorial of how to color your hair at home. First we're going to need a comb. The color I provided you, one has your color and one developer. A mixing bowl and a color brush. And of course a pair of gloves to make sure we keep your hands from staining. So if you're not used to doing color at home, this is what it looks like. Your color is kind of a toothpaste consistency, and developer is much more liquid. So we're going to combine the two. I've already pre-measured yours, so you won't have to worry about that. And we're going to mix it. So do whatever you got to do. I usually end up chopping it up a little bit and doing a few swirls, but what's most important is you want to get it completely mixed together. You can use a spoon if that's easier for you, but I usually just use my color brush. When you feel like you've got a good consistency and it's all mixed up, it should look like that, kind of like a whipped cream, we can get started. So I'm going to take down this messy bun and try and find my comb and comb out these tangles. And be gentle with your hair. I know it gets frustrating sometimes, but we want to be gentle with it. So when I'm coloring, especially just roots, I like to find my natural part, like how I wear it most days. We're going to color the entire front of your hair, so you shouldn't have any problems, but I like to make sure the most important part is going to be covered for sure. Alright, so we're going to start applying to the roots. We're going to clean off our brush a little bit. You don't want too much on there. We don't want it dripping and getting anywhere we don't want it. So just a good coating. So we're just going to liberally apply, but gently, coating 1/2 inch to 1 inch of your new growth, depending on how bad yours is. I needed about 1 inch. It's been a while. So you can see this movement I'm doing here as I do a little bit of pressure and then you flick the brush. And that's going to help you have not such a harsh line, which we're also going to take care of that later too. So again, you don't want too much on your brush, just a little bit there. You don't want it dry, but you don't want it dripping anywhere. So we're going to take about a 1/2 inch parting. How I remember or see how I want it is if you can see the color coming through on the other side, then you know it's a good section. So we're going to apply to the same piece we did and make sure we have a good covering. And then we're going to go on the next side and just keep repeating the process. So we apply, we do the pressure and then flicking out, and now I'm going to know another 1/2 inch section. So right now we're mostly working in the front two quadrants. If you parted your hair in half, you'd have the left side and the right side. Imagine they're in pigtails. And that's what we're really going to focus on right now. This is what's going to get you through this quarantine the best, where you can still wear all the hairstyles you're used to wearing without too much difficulty. So we're still working on those partings, another 1/2 inch, and we're just going to keep on going down to the ear. And what I'm going to show you in a few minutes here is the most important thing is for us to cover the full perimeter of the head. So you can wear ponytails, you can wear a braid, you can tuck it behind your ears, or you can wear it down in a normal style, and you'll still have full coverage no matter what you do. This is, if you're doing it by yourself, this is definitely the easiest way to go. If you have somebody to help you, they can definitely work towards the back more, but that is extremely difficult to do on your own. And between you and me, no one will know the difference if you have a little gap in the back of your head. So we're going to repeat the same process on the other side in just a minute, but first I'm going to show you what's really important here is making sure you get all the baby hairs. Some of us have gray up there that you want to get. I get these little blonde hairs that are really stubborn, so I go as far as I can, and it's okay to get a little bit on your skin. It'll wipe off, I promise. So you can see I got all the edges, and I like to wipe off a little bit of the excess off the skin because it's not going to hurt anything. So I did the other side off camera. I think you get the gist of it by now. So what we're going to do is we're going to work towards the crown. This way, if you pull your hair up in a half do, or you do one of those, fun little poofs in the front, you still have coverage. If you're a teaser or like to wear it in a high pony, you'll have full coverage. So I like to comb it back, and you see I got a fun little poof going on back there. It's from my days of ponytail wearing. I like to do a middle part, so it's easier for me to see what I'm doing. And we're just going to do the same thing. This part we're just going to be real gentle with. We're just going to follow the lines and do a little pressure and flick. And with this, we're just going to go as far back as you can see. So we're going to take another 1/2 inch parting. This is where it gets a little messy, because you have to kind of flip it in your face and do a little bit of multitasking. This is especially easy if you have someone to help you. So if you have a child you trust or a husband you trust, it'd be really helpful for them to get this part for you. And if you have extra product, just keep on going with it. We're just going to keep going back as far as we can see. As far as you can reach and as far as you can see. What a look. Ta-da! So, this is a little thing I like to do, like I said earlier about having harsh lines. I take my comb and just very gently kind of comb through the color. You don't want to go too crazy. You're not trying to scrape it out. I just like to do a light flicking, and that's just going to give you a little bit more of a natural blend. It's going to look like an intentional shadow root instead of growth. So it just softens the edges a little bit. Just a light flick like that. You don't want to pull it through the rest of your hair. If we have pretty highlights or anything, we don't want to mess with those. We just want to give you a more natural root. So we're starting to look real cute. Luckily we're all home. So here's what I consider the important part. I am a big wearer of ponytails, buns, and clips. Mine is not as bad since I just do different shades of brown, but especially if you have gray hair that's going to show up, it's going to be really noticeable there on your neckline. So I would do this before you use too much of your color anyways. I would go around your perimeter here. We're going to go behind the ears and just do a little flicking again. We're going to do it on the other side. If you have little baby hairs like I do, I suggest you pin them up. That one got in the way. It's not a big deal for me since I'm brunette, but if you have highlights, you don't want to mess up your color. And again, I'm just going to kind of feel it out at the bottom there. You can't really hurt anything down there on the neckline. Again, you can get it on your skin a little bit. It won't hurt it. And we'll just clean up the neck afterwards. But you want to get all those little scragglies so you can feel confident pulling your hair up. I'm just going to check the back of my head with my hand mirror, make sure I have good coverage, and I feel pretty satisfied with that. So you're going to let this sit for 30 minutes. And that's it. You've done it. Take a little break, let it sit for the full 30 minutes, and I suggest you hop in the shower, rinse it out with some nice hot water, give yourself a really good scrub, and get it all out. I'm really looking forward to seeing y'all after all this blows over. So if you have any questions, feel free to call me or shoot me a text, and we'll get through this together. Thanks. Bye.